So here's what went down with Joe Rogan's take on those Jake Paul arrest rumors that have been floating around everywhere. The guy came out swinging with this absolutely fire response, and I'm telling you right now, he's holding absolutely nothing back. Rogan dropped this bomb of a warning that hit different than anything we've heard before. He's screaming from the rooftops that no amount of fame, no stack of cash, nothing is worth putting your actual existence at risk. We're not playing games here. This isn't some theoretical conversation about maybe getting hurt someday. The threats inside that squared circle are as real as it gets, and Rogan's making sure everyone understands that these dangers will mess you up permanently if you're not careful. Word on the street from basically everyone covering combat sports is that Rogan's convinced Paul needs to pump the brakes and think long and hard about what he's doing before he even considers lacing up those gloves again. Because let's be brutally honest here, going after clout or dollar signs through these insanely dangerous matches, especially when there might be some shady manipulation happening behind the scenes, just isn't worth what could happen to you afterward, or what could end everything completely, and that's when things got real. Rogan wasn't done dropping truth bombs though. He came back even harder with this message, laying it out with the kind of intensity that makes you actually listen. Boxing will absolutely destroy you if you're not treating it with the respect it demands. Keep fighting like your life doesn't matter, and you're gonna face consequences that will change everything about your future, assuming you still have one to worry about. But wait, it gets deeper than just physical damage. He threw down this warning that getting mixed up in illegal schemes or participating in fake fights could land you in serious legal trouble that goes way beyond just looking bad in the press. This isn't about your reputation taking a hit on social media. This is about actual court cases and legal problems that could completely wreck everything you've worked for. Rogan made his position clear as day on this whole situation. The punches are real, the brain damage is real, the consequences are real, and you can't just hit the reset button when everything goes sideways in that ring. But then Nikisa B. Darian jumped in and completely flipped the script on this whole controversy. He came forward with an official statement that shut down all the speculation floating around. According to him, Jake Paul and his entire crew stayed completely clean throughout this whole situation and never even thought about rigging anything. He went straight at these rumors that have been going completely viral on every social platform you can think of. All these wild stories about the Anthony Joshua fight being some kind of setup or having a predetermined outcome. He's calling that complete nonsense without a shred of truth behind it. Nikisa broke down exactly what's been happening online, and some of these accusations are absolutely mind-blowing in how far they've gone. There was this one post that blew up everywhere claiming there was some secret deal where Joshua agreed not to knock Paul out. He explained in excruciating detail that Joshua brought his A game for every single second of that fight, completely ignoring any supposed arrangement that these conspiracy theorists keep talking about. Nikisa stressed with zero doubt that Jake put in the work, fought with everything he had, and faced genuine danger every moment he stood across from a world-class fighter like that. He also dropped the news that they're taking legal action against certain people who keep spreading these lies across different platforms. For Nikisa, setting the record straight isn't just important, it's absolutely essential to protect what Jake and his team have built. He wants everyone to know beyond any shadow of doubt that the fight was 100% real and completely unscripted, and any idea of a fixed result is total garbage based on nothing but wild theories and conspiracy thinking. So building on everything we just covered, let's talk about what Joe Rogan said directly to Jake Paul, because he delivered this incredibly serious warning telling Jake to never pull anything this dangerous again. Rogan really went hard cautioning him to think twice before taking these massive risk fights that could seriously hurt him, driving home the point with serious intensity that no career achievement, regardless of how amazing it looks or how much money flows in, justifies putting your life in danger. Rogan keeps hammering this message that the risks in boxing are absolutely real and devastating. We're looking at brain injuries that never heal, damage that stays with you forever, outcomes that could be fatal, and chasing fake fights or dangerous opponents just for fame and money could lead to consequences you can never undo. The point couldn't be clearer if it was written in neon lights. Your safety and making smart choices have to be the top priority for every fighter, no matter how famous they are or how many followers they have on social media. Meanwhile, Matthew Stern dropped this incredibly deep breakdown of the Anthony Joshua vs. Jake Paul fight, spending serious time highlighting the strategic genius and tactical planning that went into every single move in that ring. He broke down in serious detail how the fight unfolded exactly according to this master plan, with Joshua's corner making the smart choice to focus on patience and controlled aggression instead of throwing wild haymakers that could leave them vulnerable to counters. The whole strategy from day one was to systematically pick apart Jake Paul's game, methodically finding his weak spots and pushing his conditioning to the limit before unleashing those crushing shots at precisely the perfect timing. Stern made it clear that this calculated approach shows what real professional boxing looks like at the elite level, where long-term success comes from discipline, perfect timing, and tactical brilliance instead of just throwing bombs and hoping something lands. Every phase of the contest, based on his expert analysis, was carefully designed to stay in complete control of the tempo and ring positioning while slowly but surely taking over as the rounds progressed. This strategy proves how smart game planning and ring intelligence usually beat raw power when it comes to who walks away victorious. Based on Stern's professional breakdown, this approach didn't just win the fight from a tactical standpoint, it also perfectly demonstrated the true beauty of boxing as this thoughtful, intelligent competition where careful execution and smart decisions separate champions from everyone else and show the difference between seasoned veterans and newcomers who are still figuring out the fundamentals. Adam Keterol entered the discussion with this brutally honest take on the Anthony Joshua vs. Jake Paul matchup, and he absolutely did not sugarcoat anything in his breakdown. He called out the major problem that modern boxing is dealing with right now, where social media fame and online popularity are driving big fights instead of actual talent and competitive credentials. Keterol made a compelling case that Jake Paul's meteoric rise in professional boxing has way more to do with his enormous online following and celebrity brand than any real technical ability or serious experience fighting legitimate competition in the ring. Based on Keterol's comprehensive analysis, even though Anthony Joshua was clearly holding back his full power and keeping his most dangerous combinations in check, he still showed incredible control, flawless timing, and pinpoint accuracy throughout the entire fight, connecting with shots that did significant damage and exposed just how enormous the skill gap really was between these two men. This obvious difference sparked tons of talk that parts of the fight might have been influenced by outside factors and business considerations, rather than pure competition and athletic integrity. Stories spread like wildfire through boxing circles that Jake Paul supposedly tried to control the rhythm and pace of the match to reduce his own risk and keep up good appearances for his brand, highlighting these bigger concerns about how celebrity boxing keeps putting entertainment and spectacle ahead of authenticity and real competition. Keterol's insights really drive home how these hype-driven fights can seriously damage competitive integrity, putting all the emphasis on entertainment value and marketing appeal instead of genuine skill, tactical intelligence, and the core principles that have always been the foundation of professional boxing. Sam Jones came through with this completely raw and honest reaction to the Anthony Joshua vs. Jake Paul fight that really speaks to what serious boxing fans were experiencing, pointing out that watching the contest was genuinely tough from beginning to end, and not because we were seeing these incredible wars that keep you glued to your seat. It was hard to watch because of the obvious technical problems that were on full display during the entire event. He laid out pretty bluntly that Jake Paul had major issues with basic boxing fundamentals that any legitimate professional should have locked down long ago, including essential defensive skills like moving your head properly, keeping your hands up correctly, using proper footwork and positioning, and responding appropriately when Joshua threw combinations at him. These constant mistakes and technical failures created this ongoing feeling of imbalance throughout the whole fight, repeatedly showing the massive difference in experience, skill, and boxing intelligence between these two competitors. People watching carefully noticed that certain parts of the fight looked almost planned out or practiced, like the action was being subtly controlled to keep both fighters from getting into real trouble or ending up in dangerous situations. While Jake Paul definitely invested serious training time and effort getting ready for this fight, and nobody's questioning how hard he worked, Jones pointed out that the clear mismatch in natural ability and ring smarts, along with these supposed hints of controlled pacing and planned sequences, led to a viewing experience that felt genuinely uncomfortable and unsettling for those of us expecting real competitive drama and authentic sporting action. The fight really highlighted the problems with mixing celebrity status and social media fame with professional boxing, showing in pretty harsh terms how entertainment value and spectacle can completely take over actual skill and authenticity, leaving real fans wondering wondering about the legitimacy of these events, where performance and entertainment overlap so obviously. Chael Sonnen came out with some seriously harsh criticism about this entire fight, emphasizing with real worry that contests like this are way too dangerous to be happening under what anyone would call normal competitive conditions in boxing. He painted the fight in these stark terms as feeling less like genuine boxing competition between skilled athletes and more like this frantic fight for survival, where both the physical risks and reputation damage were irresponsibly high for everyone taking part. Sonnen stressed with genuine urgency that when fighters without experience decide to step in the ring with elite professionals who have dedicated decades to mastering their skills, they're creating genuinely life-threatening scenarios that could end in permanent damage or death. The supposed scripting involvement from Jake Paul, combined with these extremely dangerous matchups that probably should never get approved, really makes the problems we're seeing in celebrity boxing even worse. From Sonnen's viewpoint, this increasing trend of mixing celebrity culture and social media fame with serious professional athletics creates major dangers, not just for boxing's integrity and credibility as legitimate athletic competition, but also for unnecessarily putting participants in harm's way in methods that earlier generations of the sport would have completely rejected. Experts and boxing analysts watching the fight observed that Jake Paul's tactics during the contest seemed strangely hesitant at crucial moments, which sparked all kinds of questions about what he was really trying to accomplish in there. While some people saw this careful approach as just smart strategy for someone fighting way beyond their actual skill level, other observers and critics wondered if certain moments and exchanges seemed almost rehearsed or worked out beforehand, specifically designed to let Joshua control and dominate the action without putting either fighter in extreme danger or creating situations that could get out of hand. This theory supposedly matches up pretty well with those ongoing rumors that Paul tried to manipulate the timing and specific moments of the fight to keep himself safe from serious injury, while also maximizing the entertainment factor for the huge audience tuning in. These fighters weren't really doing what most people would call genuine boxing in the way we traditionally understand it. That wraps up everything we needed to cover today, and honestly, we went deep into this controversial fight and all the chaos around it. Keep watching because you already know there's gonna be more drama coming in this whole situation.